welcome again to another of my good battles. This is actually one of my best battles on the VK3601H. Very good tier 6 German heavy tank. In this battle, what I am mostly proud of is not so much the attack, but the defense. It's a good battle this, where I'm top tier, so I shouldn't have too many problems penetrating enemy armor with the 88mm gun that I've got on this tank. On this particular map, which is Fjords, I tend to there's a little spot there right in the middle which allows me to kind of keep an eye on most axes to our base, which basically the axis on the top right on the map, where you can see the two allied tank destroyer moving, and the middle of the map also, where you see currently the only enemy tanks. There's this rock here which offers a little bit of protection against the artillery, which is usually situated on that peninsula you see on the bottom right of the map, but also from any fire coming from down the valley, which at the moment is not really a problem because our tanks are there and there's no enemies, so that side is fairly safe. Now I'm just sitting here waiting for the enemy to appear, and obviously there's something there because our stug has just been destroyed, and there's a tank coming, a couple of tanks, well, one tank coming, as you can see from my right. So I decide to step back a little bit. There's a Hellcat there which is a big menace, and we are doing terribly. We are down 4 tanks, we have killed none of theirs. This is a really bad start for the battle. I do know though, however, that my allies on the right are on a good way to capturing the base. So if only we can hold off the enemy for a bit, they might have actually a chance to capture it, and this could still be a victory.
Enemy armor is hit.
And I've got this M7 that is beginning to target me.
They're knocked out.
But I knock him out. And slowly the tally is improving, but not too much. We've got these 2 tanks there, but I'm still not quite sure what is on my right hand side. That is coordinates E6, E7 on the and E5 on the map. We are losing very badly. This is extremely disappointing for me. I am top tier. We should be enjoying this battle, and instead we are losing 8-2. That is, we've got 7 tanks versus 12 now. It's a very bad situation. The base is totally undefended. All of the southern side of the map is completely clear. Very big danger. I think it's time for me to go back and defend the base. It's completely undefended apart from the artillery, and I'm the only one who makes a move, also knowing that the others really can't do much else about it. And as I thought, just as I arrived there, Chaffee comes up trying to go for our artillery. I managed to take his HP down by a fair bit. Time to reload, just waiting for him to make a little mistake and expose himself from behind that house. He only needs just one little move. There he is.
Critical hit.
I can then now move a little bit further whilst I reload, and you're dead.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
Okay, so 1 threat removed, but we still have enemies capturing.
Track hit.
The Covenanter cannot penetrate my armor, and the Cheery can also not penetrate my armor. So it's not too bad. I begin to deal a bit of damage, and I alternate between the 2 enemies in order to A, keep the base capture points down, and C, keep them both on their toes. None of the 2 must feel that they can have a clear shot at me. I've got to make them feel that they're always being targeted. Eventually one of them makes a mistake and is done, and I'm now waiting to get, and I'm going to go and get the other one, the Covenanter, when suddenly a KV-1 appears.
Penetration.
Now I want you to see
We're immobilized.
the angling that I am keeping
Enemy is hit.
on the on the tank. Well, I can't really show it now, but
Enemy armor is destroyed.
can you see the angle I'm keeping? That's it. I never have the frontal armor exactly perpendicular to the enemy tank. That helps a bit with armor efficiency. Having gotten rid of the KV-1, we still have a Covenanter that is trying to use the higher ground to conceal himself and have a better shot at me. And then suddenly this T-28 appears,
Ready to fire.
a bit kamikaze style, if you ask me, and
Got him.
he's obviously dead. Don't understand why he did that. It's still pretty airy, the situation, and we've got a Type 58, a Stog and a Covenanter all going for me. Notice how I reverse. You'll see why I'm reversing in a moment. I've got the Covenanter there, but at the same time I know I'm vulnerable at the back. The main reason why I'm actually reversing, you'll see that in a moment, is because I know I've got to deal with something that can threaten, you know, it can actually be rather a big threat right on my backside. So I keep reversing, and that way I can sort of handle anything that comes from the front, like the Covenanter, should you decide to come after me then. And as I move, you'll now see in a moment, there he is. I knew the Stog was there,
They're knocked out.
and he's dead. Now I've removed the threat from the back. I know that behind me I'm fairly safe. I go and defend base. I don't understand why the Covenanter decided to capture, but there you go. He's basically using the dead Chi here as cover. I try one shot, but it's too much of a close. You can see how close they are to each other. It's actually really difficult to actually find a clear edge where to shoot. So there's only one thing I can do: keeping the frontal armor, on the tank. I get a bit closer until I know
Fire.
I've got a clear shot. Enable auto aim. Boom.
Got him.
Dead. Right, what's the situation now? From a really hopeless situation to a much more hopeful one now. I've got my Top Gun, that's good, but the main thing is that I've gotten rid of all enemy tanks bar one. It's a Type 58, which shouldn't be too much of a problem. I've got two options here. I can either attack or defend. Now, I was expecting the Type 58 to come up from there. This is why I kind of sort of went for it. And then I think, well, it's not there. He might have been trying to circle around the other side. So what I decided to do is take position near the base. And you'll see that in a moment, that I will also put the back of my tank against the mountain. The back of the tank is obviously my weaker side. So I'm going to protect that. And at the same time, having the back towards the mountain will allow me to change position more quickly, and also keep an eye on either side of the approaches to the base, left and right. Here you can see I found a good spot which totally protects my back and most of my side. I'm on higher ground, I've got a clear view on the map, and I can see any tank that comes either from the left or the right. So I sit there waiting. In the meantime, in the chat, which is hidden for privacy reasons, I get all sorts of comments from well done VK36 to thank you very much, or go and win, go and kill him, things like that. I would say it's easier, obviously, to win matches like this when you're a heavy tank in a top tier. But at the same time, it does take a tremendous strain when you have to deal with a situation like that where you have multiple attackers, and it's actually good to just sit there for half a minute or so just to catch your breath again and gather your thoughts. At this point, the timer is telling me that there isn't actually that much time left in the battle, so if he doesn't come to capture the base, this would end in a draw. And I think, well, it would be a great shame after all that work, to just end up with a draw. I might be content with a draw if I was in a light tank or even an artillery, because I would say I did very, very well. But being a heavy tank, I know I've got the upper hand should I encounter this other tank, and so there's only one thing left to do, which is a bit of a gamble because I'm slower than a medium tank, and if I don't time this right, the medium tank could actually start capturing our base before me, and I might not be able to make it back in time. But what I'm doing now is twofold. On one hand, I'm kind of searching the map, hoping to spot him somewhere, if he's still moving or hiding somewhere where I am. And at the same time, I'm getting closer to the enemy base, because the closer I get, and without him capturing the base, the higher chance I have of actually capturing the base myself. And he just seems to be vanished. He could be trying to attack our base and could be approaching it very, very slowly, just to make sure he doesn't get spotted. Or he could simply be hiding somewhere. I actually begin to think at this point that it's worth capturing the base. He doesn't seem to be making many moves. I am really careful not to knock down trees so as not to give away my position, and at the same time I try to keep to use the maximum cover possible by staying close to buildings. He could well be waiting for me at the base, and hence my stopping here to sort of take a look around, because he could well be hiding there in ambush waiting for me to pop up. But at this point, it's a chance I've got to take. There's not much time left on the battle. I've got to go and capture. He really does not seem to be anywhere in sight, and there's not really much left for me at this point than to just step into the circle and start capturing the base. This will either achieve him coming to me to try and defend the base, in which case we can fight it out, or I can simply wait for capture. And at the end of the day, I'll just skip through here. It just does not turn up, does not appear. He obviously, as one other player suggested, feared my 88mm gun. I'm not quite sure about how much HP he's got. He might just have 1 or 2% HP, in which case it would be almost pointless for him to engage me. So there you go. This battle was obviously a Top Gun, but also Invader, and especially Ace Tanker. Lots of medals on this game. One of my best ones. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.